The most powerful American sign in the world is not the flag. It is not the dollar sign. It is not the Hollywood sign. It is not even a company logo. It is a red sign with 8 sides standing on a pole, telling people in country after country the same thing. Stop. That is strange when you think about it. Most countries did not copy American road signs. Europe has many signs that look nothing like signs in the United States. Britain kept its own road style. Japan still uses a different stop sign. And yet, somehow, this one American-looking sign spread around the world. So why did the stop sign win? This is not a story about a secret plan. The real story is quieter. It is about rules, car crashes, maps, borders, and government meetings. And it is about a very simple question. How did America make the world accept its stop sign? Welcome to Terra Chrono. If you like stories that reveal little-known facts hiding in plain sight, like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because the stop sign is not just a traffic sign, it is American power, hiding in plain sight. At the start of the 20th century, cars were still new, but they were already changing the world. For the first time, normal people could drive long distances. A person could leave one town in the morning and reach another country by afternoon. In Europe, that caused a problem very quickly. You might cross a border and suddenly see a different language, different police rules, different road habits, different signs. That is dangerous. A driver cannot stop and study every sign like homework. A driver has to understand it fast. So Europe needed a shared road language. Think of it like this. If every school used a different sign for exit, fire drills would be chaos. This was not only for tourists. Roads moved trucks, food, mail, police, aid, and sometimes soldiers too. So after World War I, the League of Nations started looking at road signs as an international problem. The goal was simple. If cars crossed borders, the signs should not become a guessing game. But the United States had a different problem. America also had messy roads. In the early car years, different clubs, cities, and states put up their own signs. Some roads had almost no signs. Some roads had too many. Sometimes different groups marked the same route in different ways. So American drivers were confused too. But America was confused inside one huge country. The United States had long roads, big cities, and a fast-growing car culture, but it did not have Europe's border problem. It was not surrounded by many small countries with many languages. So America mostly built a system for itself. And there is one important difference. America was not trying to make a road sign that every language on Earth could understand. On American roads, almost everyone was expected to read English. So American signs often used plain words. Stop, speed limit, one way, do not enter. No clever symbol was needed. Engineers still gave shapes, special jobs. A rectangle could give directions. A diamond could warn you to be careful. A circle could mark a railroad crossing. And the octagon, the 8-sided shape, was saved for something serious. Stop. Why the octagon? Because it was rare and easy to recognize, even when the word was hard to see. The first American stop sign appeared in Detroit in 1915. It was not the red sign we know today. At first, the word did most of the work, but the shape was waiting to become the real advantage. By the 1920s and 1930s, America was building a car country. Highways were spreading, cities were changing, families were driving farther. States needed the same basic rules. If a driver went from Michigan to Ohio or from California to Nevada, the road could not feel like a whole new game. This led to an important book with a boring name, the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, or MUTCD. That name sounds dry, but the idea is simple. It is a rule book for road signs. It tells cities and states, use this shape, this color, this meaning, so drivers do not have to guess. It turns millions of small decisions into one national habit. Once millions of people learn the same road language, changing it becomes hard. You would have to replace signs, reteach drivers, change laws, and spend money. So when the world later tried to make one big road sign system, America already had its own. And America had very little reason to throw it away. After World War II, many countries had to rebuild. Europe had broken roads and damaged cities. Other parts of the world were still building their modern road systems. So this looked like the right moment to ask a big question. Could the world agree on one road language? In 1949, the United Nations held a meeting in Geneva about roads, cars, and traffic. This was not a movie scene with famous leaders. It was officials arguing about ordinary things. What shape should a warning sign be? What colour should mean danger? What should a driver understand at speed? The goal was big. Make a road sign system the world could share. But the official record says they hit a problem. They could not create one system that every country would accept. That line matters. It means the world wanted one road language, but countries already had their own habits. Europe had one style, Britain had its own style. America had a huge rule book and millions of drivers already using it. In plain words, America had already trained a whole country, so they made a compromise. A compromise means nobody gets everything, but everyone gets enough to keep going. Instead of forcing all road signs into the main agreement, they put the signs into a side agreement. Countries could choose to join it, or they could stay out. That mattered for the United States. From the American point of view, the country already had a working system. It covered a giant land area and a giant car market. And America was not like Europe, where drivers crossed many borders all the time. So why tear it down? This is where power can be quiet. America did not have to shout. It did not have to make every country obey. Its own road system was already so large that the world had to deal with it. When a country is big enough, saying we are keeping our system becomes a form of power. Here is the strange part. The 1949 International Road Sign Plan did have a stop sign, but it was not the American one. It described a red circle with a red triangle inside it. The triangle pointed down. The word stop could appear in the middle. Today that looks odd. It almost looks like a yield sign and a stop sign got mixed together. But in Europe, it made sense. European signs worked like families. Circles gave orders, triangles warned you. Pictures helped drivers who spoke different languages. The American stop sign was different. It was simpler and stronger. 8 sides, one word, one shape that almost no other road sign used. And that was the advantage. A stop sign has one job. The driver must understand it right away, even in rain, snow, darkness, or another language. For that job, the octagon was almost perfect. The American idea was simple. The more serious the danger, the more special the shape should be. The octagon was not picked because it looked nice. It was picked because it was hard to confuse with anything else. Imagine a stop sign covered with snow, faded by weather, or seen only in headlights. You might not read the word, but you can still recognize the outline. Early American stop signs were not always red. Many were yellow, because red paint and red reflective materials did not work well enough at night or in bad weather. Then the materials improved. In 1954, the American rule book adopted the modern stop sign. White letters on a red 8-sided background. That is when the stop sign became the icon we know today. And the timing was perfect. Roads were growing, and the world needed simple symbols that worked fast. America had one. Not just a pretty design, a tested answer. But here is the twist. America did not win the whole road sign argument. Most of the world did not become American. Europe kept many circular signs. America kept many diamond warning signs. Britain kept many of its own road habits. The world never fully agreed on one perfect system. But the stop sign was different. But on the most important sign, America won. The stop sign was not proof that America controlled every street. It was proof that one American idea was too useful to ignore. Even a country that did not want American road signs could accept the American stop sign because every country has the same problem at an intersection. A driver has to know when to stop, fast. The red octagon became a rare deal that worked for many sides. It came from the American system, but it was simple enough to work almost anywhere. That is why we barely notice it today. And that is the deepest kind of win. When a rule wins, people stop seeing it as a choice. It just feels normal. But it was a choice, made by engineers, argued over by officials, accepted by countries. This is how a country can spread power without making it look like power. Not with a flag, not with an army, but with a useful rule. America did not need to make every road in the world look American. It only needed one American road idea to be so practical that other countries chose it too. That is still a victory. That kind of power is easy to miss. It is the power of shared rules. You can see it in shipping containers. They work because ports agree on the same sizes. You can see it in airport codes. You can see it in GPS. The stop sign is that kind of rule, but made visible. Every time a driver stops at a red octagon in another country, they are using a design that passed through American roads and international meetings. Not because America secretly controls every corner, because sometimes the strongest idea is the one that feels like common sense. So the red octagon is not just a sign, it is where many stories meet. Europe needed signs that worked across borders. The League of Nations and the United Nations tried to share road rules. America built a huge car country with its own road language. New materials made red signs work at night, and all of that history ended up in one simple object. A red sign. 8 sides, one word. Stop. Europe did not fully become American. America did not fully join the European road sign style, but the stop sign crossed over, and that is why America won the part that mattered most. Big power does not always look big. Sometimes it looks like a law, a drawing in a rule book, or a shape that everyone understands before they think about it. The empire was not painted on the map. It was bolted to a pole. If you want more stories about little-known facts hiding in plain sight, like this video, subscribe to Terra Chrono and turn on notifications. And the next time you stop at an intersection, remember this: even the simplest road sign has a history behind it.